The rain has been falling for some time now, steady and unhurried, as though the night itself has settled into a quiet rhythm. You walk along a narrow stone path, your footsteps muted by the wet ground beneath you. The air is cool, carrying the clean scent of rain-soaked earth and old stone. Each breath you take feels slower than the last, as if the night is gently encouraging you to move at its pace rather than your own. Rain taps softly against your cloak, gathering at the edges before slipping away in thin streams. It doesn't rush. Nothing does. Though you look forward to entering the castle and reaching the library, you are happy to reach your destination in your own time as you traverse onward. The sky above is hidden behind a thick blanket of clouds, dark but calm, with no harsh sounds to disturb the quiet. Only the persistent, comforting patter of rain. Ahead, rising from the mist, the castle stands. Its walls are tall and worn smooth by time. Pale stone darkened by moisture. Narrow windows glow faintly with warm, golden light. A quiet promise against the cold night. Torches flicker along the outer wall, their flames steady despite the rain, casting gentle reflections across the wet stone. You slow your pace as you approach, not out of caution, but simply because there is no reason to hurry. The castle feels welcoming in its stillness, as though it has been waiting patiently for your arrival. Water drips from the edges of the stone towers, falling in slow, measured drops. Somewhere nearby, rainwater flows along a shallow channel, producing a soft, continuous murmur that blends seamlessly with the sound of rainfall. Your cloak feels heavier now, damp with rain, resting comfortably on your shoulders. The weight is grounding rather than uncomfortable. Each step forward feels deliberate, steady, and unstrained. As you draw closer, the details of the castle become clearer. The wooden doors at the entrance are massive and dark, reinforced with iron bands smoothed by countless hands over many years. Rain runs down their surface in thin lines, tracing the grain of the wood before disappearing into the stone below. A lantern hangs beside the doorway, its warm glow flickering gently, illuminating the rain as it falls. The light creates small halos in the misty air, making the night feel softer, quieter. You pause for a moment beneath the lantern, sheltered slightly from the rain. Water continues to fall around you, but here it sounds different, muted, calmer, as though the world has grown smaller. Your breathing slows naturally. The sounds of the night are simple now. Rain, the faint rustle of wind along the walls, the distant, hollow echo of water dripping somewhere within the castle grounds. Nothing sharp, nothing demanding your attention. You rest your hand against the cool stone wall beside the door. The surface is solid and reassuring beneath your fingers, carrying the quiet strength of centuries. This place has stood through countless nights like this one, through countless storms, and it remains calm and untroubled. Rainwater drips from the edge of your hood, falling in a slow rhythm, drop by drop, each sound blending seamlessly into the night. You reach for the iron handle of the door. It is cool beneath your palm, smooth from years of use. Everything feels balanced, calm, exactly as it should be. With an easy, unforced motion, you press gently against the door. It responds slowly, the heavy wood shifting with a deep, familiar sound. A soft creak that echoes briefly before fading away. The noise is not loud. It is comforting, like a sound meant only for you. Warm air drifts outward as the door opens, brushing against your face and hands. It carries the faint scent of burning wood, old parchment, and something subtly sweet. Perhaps beeswax from candles burning within. Behind you, the rain continues to fall, steady and patient. Ahead, the castle waits quietly, offering shelter from the night. You step forward, crossing the threshold, and as the door begins to close behind you, The sound of the rain softens, fading gently into the background, as though the world outside is slowly drifting away. The door settles closed behind you with a quiet finality. The sounds soft and low, like the end of a long breath. The rain remains outside now, distant and indistinct, reduced to a faint presence beyond the thick stone walls. Inside, the air is warmer, still carrying a trace of the night's dampness, but balanced by the steady comfort of heat held within the castle. You stand just inside the entryway, allowing your eyes to adjust to the low light. Torches are set into the walls at even intervals, their flames burning calmly, casting long shadows that stretch and retreat across the stone floor. The light is golden and gentle, never harsh, and it settles quite easily into the quiet space. Your cloak hangs heavy against your back, cool from the rain. As you shift slightly, water slips free and darkens the stone beneath your feet. No one rushes to attend to you. There is no urgency here. The castle seems content to let you arrive in your own time. The floor beneath you is smooth from centuries of passage. Each step forward carries a soft echo, not sharp or intrusive, but rounded and brief, disappearing almost as soon as it forms. The sound blends naturally with the quiet hum of the building. Somewhere deeper within the castle, a fire crackles faintly. The sound is distant, barely more than a suggestion, but it brings with it a sense of ease. The walls hold warmth well, and you feel it gradually reaching you, easing the chill from your hands and shoulders. You follow the corridor ahead, wide and gently curving, the stone walls rising high on either side. Tapestries hang between the torches, their woven scenes muted by age and shadow. They move slightly as you pass, stirred by the subtle flow of air through the hall. You begin to briefly wonder about the inhabitants of the castle. So much goes on during the day, yet now, the calm atmosphere almost makes it feel as though the castle belongs to you. The halls, the rooms, all surrounding you and inviting you to move at your leisure and explore everything this place has to offer. Your steps slow, without effort. There is nothing to avoid, nothing to prepare for. Each movement feels natural, guided more by comfort than intention. A figure appears briefly at the far end of the corridor, a castle attendant, moving quietly and without ceremony. They offer a simple nod, acknowledging your presence without words, then turn and continue on their way. The exchange is brief, unremarkable, and exactly what it needs to be, though you do wonder where they may be off to, what task they may be performing and for who. Perhaps the king or queen. You continue forward, the hallway opening gradually into a broader passage. The ceiling arches above you, high and sturdy, its beams disappearing into shadow. The stone here is lighter in color, reflecting the torchlight softly and lending the space a calm, open feeling. The scent of old wood and warm stone lingers in the air. Beneath it, something familiar. Dusty pages, candle wax, and time itself begins to emerge. Subtle at first, but unmistakable. You pause for a moment near an alcove set into the wall. A simple bench rests there, its surface smooth and worn. For a brief second, you consider sitting, letting the warmth sink in a little longer. But the pull of what lies ahead feels gentle and inviting. Your cloak no longer feels cold. The dampness fades as the warmth of the castle continues its quiet work. With each step, your body relaxes further, tension easing away in small, unnoticed ways. The corridor narrows again, turning softly to the left. Light spills from the space beyond, dimmer than the torches, steadier and more subdued. The air grows even quieter here, as though the castle itself is encouraging stillness. Your footsteps become nearly soundless now. You sense the library before you see it, not through sight, but through atmosphere. The hush deepens, the warmth becomes more even, more settled. The faint sound of rain returns, barely audible, filtered through thick stone and distant windows high above. You reach the threshold of another room and stop, standing just outside. The space beyond feels calm and undisturbed, filled with a quiet patience. Whatever waits inside does not demand your attention. It simply offers a place to rest. You take one slow breath. Then, with an easy step forward, you move toward the library, leaving the corridor behind as the castle continues to hold the night at a gentle distance. You step into the library, and the space welcomes you without ceremony. The room is vast but hushed, its height softened by rows of tall wooden shelves that stretch upward toward the shadowed ceiling. Books rest neatly in their places, their spines worn and darkened by time. Some are bound in leather, others in cloth, each carrying the quiet weight of many careful hands. Candlelight glows throughout the room, small flames resting in iron holders along the walls and atop long wooden tables. The light moves gently, never flickering too sharply, creating a steady warmth that settles into the corners of the room. Shadows gather between the shelves, deep and calm, undisturbed. A fire burns low in a stone hearth at the far end of the library. Its sound is soft and steady, a quiet companion rather than a presence that demands attention. The warmth it gives off spreads evenly, filling the room with a comfortable stillness. You walk slowly along one of the aisles, your footsteps nearly silent on the smooth floor. The air carries the scent of old paper, polished wood, and faint smoke from the hearth. It is a familiar blend, one that encourages lingering rather than movement. As you pass, your fingers brush lightly along the spines of the books. The textures vary, some smooth, some rough, some softened by age. Each title rests patiently, content to remain where it is. A tall window rises along one wall, its glass divided into narrow panes. Rain traces thin paths down the surface, catching the candlelight as it falls. The sound is distant and gentle, barely more than a whisper, blending naturally with the quiet crackle of the fire. Near the center of the room, a heavy wooden table stands beneath a hanging lamp. Several books are already laid open, their pages marked with simple ribbons. The lamp above casts a steady pool of light, contained and calm. You pause beside a cushioned chair positioned near the hearth. The fabric is soft, its surface warmed by the fire's glow. When you sit, the chair settles beneath you without sound, supporting your weight easily. A book rests on a nearby table, its cover worn smooth. You lift it carefully, feeling its reassuring weight in your hands. The pages open with a soft, familiar sound, releasing a faint scent of parchment and ink. You begin to read. The words drift by slowly, each line unhurried, offering no challenge, no urgency. The meaning is gentle and uncomplicated, allowing your thoughts to remain light. What lies within appears to be a story of a distant fairy tale land far away. As you turn a page, the sound is barely audible. The movement feels natural, instinctive, as though time itself has slowed to match your pace. The fire shifts slightly, sending a brief pulse of warmth across the room. The rain continues its quiet rhythm against the high window, steady and unchanging. You adjust in the chair, settling more deeply, the book resting comfortably in your hands. The library remains calm around you, undisturbed and still. Here, nothing is required of you. The night outside carries on at a distance, while inside, the library holds its calm, offering warmth, silence, and rest without expectation. The words on the page hold your attention a little longer now, just enough to stir quiet images as you read. The story speaks of faraway places, lands shaped by slow rivers and wide skies, where stone roads wind gently between fields and hills. You picture these places without effort, not in detail, but as soft impressions that come and go like passing clouds. Your eyes move steadily along the lines. The language is calm and measured, describing journeys taken at an unhurried pace, evenings spent beneath open stars, and days that unfold without urgency. Nothing dramatic interrupts the flow. The story feels content to simply exist. As you read, you imagine walking through one of these distant places, feeling warm sunlight on your shoulders, hearing the quiet sounds of life carried on a breeze. The images remain gentle, never sharp, fading naturally before they can take hold for too long. The book rests comfortably in your hands, its pages turning slowly. Each page offers another glimpse. An old road disappearing into mist, a quiet harbor at dusk, a distant tower silhouetted against the sky. The scenes blend together, soft and indistinct. The fire nearby continues to burn low, its warmth steady and even. The sound it makes is familiar now, a constant presence that anchors you as your thoughts wander. Rain still taps faintly against the high window, its rhythm unchanged. Your breathing deepens as the story continues. Each breath feels full and unforced, rising and falling in time with the calm of the room. The words begin to blur slightly, their meaning understood more by feeling than by thought. The lands described seem less like places to be visited, and more like memories you've always carried, quiet and comforting. You pause between pages, letting the story settle. The book does not rush you. It remains open, patient, waiting without expectation. Your thoughts drift between the warmth of the library and the gentle landscapes of the story. Hills, rivers, distant lights at twilight. All of it moves slowly, as though seen through a soft veil. The effort to continue reading grows lighter, not heavier. The pages feel content to remain where they are, the story unfolding whether you follow every word or not. Your eyes linger on the page, then rest. The images fade gradually, leaving behind a sense of peace rather than detail. The room remains still around you, holding its quiet warmth as the story drifts onward, carrying you gently toward rest. The book rests quietly in your hands now, its pages no longer turning. The words have softened completely, their meaning fading into the background as your attention drifts inward. You allow the book to close, its cover meeting the pages with a faint familiar sound. You place it carefully beside you, where it remains warm and still. The chair supports you fully as you settle deeper into it. There is no need to adjust further. Everything feels balanced, steady and at ease. The fire continues its low and even burn. Its warmth surrounds you without pressing in, filling the space gently. Shadows remain calm between the shelves, unmoving and quiet. Candlelight glows softly at the edges of the room, steady and reassuring. The rain continues beyond the high windows, distant and unchanged. Its rhythm is slow and consistent, a quiet presence that asks nothing of you. The sound blends easily with the soft crackle of the hearth, creating a calm, familiar pattern. Your breathing slows further, deep and unforced. Each breath moves easily in and out, carrying away any remaining tension. Your shoulders rest comfortably. Your hands grow still. The library holds its silence, offering nothing but warmth and time. The night outside continues without interruption, but here, within these walls, everything remains peaceful and undisturbed. Your thoughts drift more slowly now, forming less often, fading more quickly. There is no need to follow them. They pass on their own, leaving space behind. The weight of the day feels distant, no longer pressing or present. Only the comfort of the room remains. The steady warmth, the quiet sounds, the gentle stillness. Your eyes rest, heavy and calm. The space around you feels safe and familiar, as though it has always been waiting. The fire burns low. The rain continues, The castle remains still. Sleep settles in naturally, quietly, as the library holds you through the night.